my name is Laura Latman, and I am here from Five Stones Institute to make you some healthy food, or show you how to make some healthy food with and for your kids. Five Stones Institute is a nonprofit organization where we specialize in the education for the balanced care of mind, body, and spirit, and healthy eating, and especially in children. And healthy children are super important, of course, for becoming healthy adults and for overall health and just being happy. So the first recipe that I'm going to show you is meatballs, but we're actually going to put shredded vegetables into the meatballs. So it's a great way to get vegetables into some really picky kids, because most kids like meatballs. You can put them over pasta, they're happy to eat them. So if you sneak some vegetables in there, then you know that your kid is getting something other than, you know, the protein from the meat. And it can also be something really fun to make with your kids. So we'll go ahead and get started. So I have a big bowl here. Today I have ground turkey. You can use any ground meat that you have. You can do turkey, beef, whatever, chicken, whatever you've got on hand. So putting that ground beef in, or ground turkey is what I have. I'm gonna throw on some gloves here really quick because this is about to get really fun but really messy. So we are going to add in, we're gonna add an egg here. So the egg just kind of helps everything stick together, but as noted on the sheet, hold on, I'm gonna bang again. All right, as noted on the sheet that I gave you, I have made this when I actually didn't have eggs in the house, and it stuck together fine, and it turned out fine. I think it was maybe a little bit drier, but my kid ate it, everybody was happy, so no worries there. All right, so, and we're gonna add spices. So we're just going to do some garlic powder and some Italian seasoning. So I don't need to measure out my garlic powder here because I know there's 1 teaspoon in there, and it's all done. And then next up, we're gonna have our Italian seasoning, and we are going to do the same thing, right? Yep, 1 teaspoon of our Italian seasoning. And if you don't have Italian seasoning at home, I've used anything from just salt and the garlic powder to pesto that I had at home I threw in there. I had a herb de Provence that somebody had gifted me once, and I threw them in here, and my kids still ate it up, so it still was perfect. And then we're also gonna add in some breadcrumbs. We're gonna do 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs to this. If you have any kind of allergies, I actually have gluten-free breadcrumbs here, but if those aren't available, I have actually used cornmeal instead of breadcrumbs. You don't always have breadcrumbs sitting around your house. So go ahead and throw those breadcrumbs in there. And then for the shredded vegetables. So you can actually sometimes get shredded vegetables at the store, or you can do it yourself. So here are my beautiful shredded zucchini and carrots. And we're just gonna put them right in the bowl and mix it all in together. Be super innocuous, your kid's not gonna taste it at all. And what I used to grate those was a microplane here, just a handheld microplane, that's how I grated them. You can also use a box grater, or if you have another flat one like this, all of those work to grate it. And if you feel like your kid is gonna maybe see the little bits of vegetables, you could even try to do the really tiny ones so that the vegetables actually come out in really, really small pieces and hide a little bit better. If your kid is not completely vegetable averse and you don't need to hide it and not let them know that that's in here, this could be a really fun part for them to help you out with. Because what we're gonna do is get in there with our hands and we're gonna mix it all together. And you could try to use a spoon for this, but eventually you're gonna have to roll the meatballs into balls. You're gonna have to spread it out, and you're gonna have to use your hands for that anyway, so I just get right in there. And this is fun for kids, right? Getting dirty, getting right in. And kids really love getting involved with their food, and the more involved they are in choosing the food, making the food, like seeing it all come together, usually the more likely they are to eat the food. And it also really teaches them, it helps to teach them where their food comes from and what goes into making their food. As a parent, you probably know that you could spend all this time putting all this effort into your food, and if your kid doesn't see that, then they don't really appreciate what you put into making your food. So we're just gonna get it all really good and mixed in there. And then we're gonna take them out, and you can make these, so the bigger the ball, the longer it's gonna take to cook. The smaller the ball, the shorter time it's gonna take to cook. So I do about a 1-inch ball, but if you have really small kids or you just want it to seem like there's a lot more and you just want like a lot of little meatballs on a plate or in your pasta, then you can make them smaller. I wouldn't really go much bigger, then you sort of start to turn it into a burger, which you could do if you're trying to do a burger, but the cooking would be very different. So we're just gonna put these on here. And this recipe actually calls for baking the meatballs, and that's a little bit healthier than if you were going to cook them on the stove in oil or butter, but that's another option, and that's actually a lot faster if you want to do that. This baking takes 20 minutes. So if you wanted to do it on the stove instead, you could do that. You would just have to adjust the cooking time and you would use oil. So on this pan, I actually don't ever oil the pan when I make this. I just put whatever tin foil or parchment paper down first, and then I put these on it. Make them into balls. And this can be fun for your kids too. If you have your kids help out, chances are you're gonna come out with some different sized balls. So utilizing some sort of a measuring implement, even just a spoon, it might be helpful to try to get them more the same size. Otherwise you're gonna be trying to pull them out at different times. So really just trying to make sure that they're uniform. And these meatballs are flavorful enough so you can serve them. You can serve them by themselves, just with a sauce over them. You could put them over your favorite pasta at home. You can put them over rice, quinoa, anything that you happen to have on hand that's sort of starchy like that, you could do. Of course, using whatever your favorite pasta sauce is, whatever your kids' favorite pasta sauce is. And if these are drowned in pasta sauce, it even sort of hides the vegetables in them a little bit more. So you'll probably notice as I'm rolling these up that you can see the carrots in them, but when you cook them, the meat gets darker, the vegetables get lighter, so everything just sort of blends into each other. I'm gonna see if I can fit all these. You don't want them touching, but I have actually cooked them like this, where they've been very close. Just make sure that they're not touching. And we'll get those in the oven, and as I said, they're gonna bake in an oven that's 350 degrees for about 20 minutes, and you're gonna wanna flip them over or turn them a little bit 10 minutes in. All right, so my meatballs cooked in the oven for about 20 minutes. And I always like to do a quick check. I'll just cut it in half and make sure the inside of a meatball is completely cooked through, that there's no pink left over. I usually choose the biggest meatball to do that with, just to make sure that they're all cooked through. And then we can take a couple meatballs. So this is, you can plate this absolutely just meatballs. You don't have to do the pasta or the rice underneath, but if you have that at home and you're making this a really big full meal and you want that starch underneath, then go ahead and put pasta underneath, and then we're gonna pour some sauce on. And of course, sauce is vegetables more, right? So now we have tomatoes for your kids. I'll do a little bit more. And just mix that all up in there. Get those a nice coating in your sauce. And of course, if you have pasta or rice in there, then you can mix the rice into the pasta and the sauce. And there we go. That looks delicious for your kids, a great high protein meal with some vegetables in it as well, so that you know that your kids are getting the fuel that they need. All right, and now we are going to make a really healthy but fun dessert for your kids. So everybody knows, well, that's generalizing, but most children really love their dessert. So this is a fun way. It's something that you can make together. It's gonna be a watermelon pizza, and it can have a bunch of options of toppings on it. And we're gonna start out with a watermelon, so you just get a big, wonderful watermelon. Getting it from the farm or the store, what you wanna do is look for a watermelon that seems like it's pretty heavy for its size. And then you wanna see, is there kind of a spot on it where it was resting in the field, so that lets you know that it actually came to ripe when it was still on the vine, as opposed to being taken off before it developed all of the flavor. And then also when you knock on it, you want it to sound a little bit hollow. So there we go, we've got this wonderful watermelon. And then to cut it to make the pizzas, you're just gonna cut it into rounds. So we're gonna cut the end off. We don't want that piece there. And then cut it down. We'll make a couple cuts here. Ooh, this smells so good. And you do want them to be sort of thicker. I don't think I cut very evenly there, but you know, this thickness would be really great for your watermelon pizza, because you want it to be sturdy enough when you put the other stuff on it, but you don't want it to be so thick that your child feels like they can't get it in their mouth. So we are gonna go ahead and use this piece here. I'm gonna put it on the plate. And you can see you get a lot of watermelon pizzas out of one pizza. Or one watermelon. All right. So next up, we just want something that the other toppings are gonna stick to, and it would be kind of like your pizza sauce. So here I have yogurt. You could also use whipped cream if you have whipped cream. You could use Cool Whip if you have that at home. So whatever sort of creamy, yogurty thing works. We're gonna put it on and spread it out on our watermelon. And then you can see we're just making a surface that other toppings can stick into, rather than rolling right off the top of the watermelon. And you don't have to worry about getting it all the way to the edges, because of course that green edge your kid's not gonna eat. So it can be nice and in the middle. And this might be a part that you do this and then present this to your kid with a bunch of other toppings. And maybe it's only 2 or 3. It doesn't have to be a whole ton to make this fun. So what I have here, I have some blueberries, I have chocolate chips, and then I have some walnuts. So it's sort of, you can use any other fruit besides watermelon to put on it, kiwi, any berries, banana slices, anything you have in the house. And then we're just gonna take those, we're gonna sprinkle them on. All right, and of course the more different fruits you have, the more colorful it is, but it's gonna be yummy even if it's just one kind of fruit. And then we can take some chocolate chips, and sprinkle those in too, so make that super fun. And if you have any sort of candies or M&Ms or anything, that would also work here too, any small candies to go in. Sprinkles would be really cute. All right, and then nuts, so we can offer just a little bit of fat and protein to it. If your kid doesn't like nuts, don't worry about it, just leave it off. If they're allergic to nuts, you don't need it. Just put a couple of those on here. And there you go. Super duper simple to make this watermelon pizza. And then you're just gonna cut it like you would cut a pizza. So we'll cut it down the middle. And then we'll cut a slice out here. And at this point, after you cut it, if you want, so you would definitely want to cut it first. If you want, you can throw it in the freezer for an hour, and then the watermelon will freeze, the yogurt will freeze, and it'll be sort of like a popsicle. And all of this will stick into the yogurt because it froze on there. And there you go. There's your little slice of watermelon pizza.